Today on Hey, We're Talking.
It's music history and virtual tongue hockey.
Find out about the industry that has made over $500 million today on this show.
Is that a six-figure or a seven-figure income?
I think 9, maybe a three-figure income.
Three-figure,
So.
okay. Hey, everybody! Welcome to Hey, We're Talking. Now, you don't know this because there have been episodes, but we haven't seen each other in, it's almost been 3 weeks. Hasn't it been that long?
Yeah,
It doesn't
we don't
feel
communicate at all.
that long.
No, we still talk. We haven't done the we haven't sat down and done a show in almost 3 weeks. When did you go on your little trip, Bob? Because it was right before you went on your trip, probably Tuesday of that week before you left.
Oh, Philadelphia. I don't know. I just whenever I went.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
I could really.
Thanks for getting that information.
I mean, if
for
I
us.
could
We
really,
appreciate
if
it.
you want me, I could really look it up. But I
It's
don't
up
really.
to you.
I think it was 2 weeks ago.
At least 2, maybe 2.5. Anyway, it's been a while. How you guys doing?
Great.
Oh my gosh.
I'm fine.
I'm like, it's like I'm squeezing something, trying to get some juice out of it, like a lemon that's already been juiced. I'm squeezing it to get some information out of these guys today.
No,
Why is that?
I am excited. I said it on our Voxer chat. I'm like, man, we haven't actually done this in a little while,
Okay.
and I'm excited to see you guys in this format. You know, we talk and stuff, but there's a difference when we're just talking and chit chatting, and then actually doing the show. It's a total difference. I mean, it's like our guide time to hang out with each other.
Yeah, it is. All right. Exactly. So before we get going, though, I do want to say one thing to start it off. This show is sponsored by Numa Coffee. Isn't that right, Derek? Are you drinking Numa Coffee? You're probably not, so I shouldn't put you on the spot.
I'm not drinking Numa coffee. I've been drinking a lot less coffee lately, but you have serious concerns today about my energy levels. So you're like, are you drinking coffee, Derek? Are you drinking coffee?
Yeah.
You better drink coffee because I want you to be on, because before the show started, I was a little like, hey guys, I just woke up.
He's really mellow. But there he's got his Southern Fried Pipe Club glass mug.
That's
a great mug, by the way.
I do love the mug. I got a couple like this, and
It's a nice looking mug.
Thank you.
And
you're talking about the coffee cup.
That's funny too.
I thought you were admiring my face.
I wonder.
No, you got an ugly mug.
Do you think there is probably a lot of people who don't even know what that means when you say, "Look at that guy's mug"? They don't even know. They don't get it.
Well, yeah, mug shot.
Yeah, there you go. See,
look at your face.
The guy's got an ugly mug on his face. Anyway,
I was talking to my daughter last night. The reason I'm saying this is because, things that people don't understand or know. I was talking to my daughter last night about what a six-figure income is.
Yeah. What did she say?
Well, so she said we were talking about some individual, and she said, yeah, that individual earns a three-figure income. And I'm like,
figures.
What's a three-figure income?
He's making.
She's like, oh, like $100,000, and I'm like, well, that's not a three-figure income.
No.
She's like, well, what do you make? Are you at a one-figure income? And I'm like, no, I'm not at a one-figure income. So I had to explain the whole process that, okay, here's what the figures are. A six-figure income is, basically how many numbers are with your income, and that means you make over $100,000 a year. She was totally confused by that. Like, I don't know. It was just, to me, I laughed because I'm like, no, I don't have a one-figure income. That doesn't make sense.
No. And this is like, your daughter who just graduated high school.
Exactly. And I'm like, she's like, so what's a three-figure income? I'm like, there isn't one.
Yes, there is. That would mean you'd make less than $1,000 a year, $999 a year. It's a three-figure income.
That's your allowance.
I had to tell her, I'm like, but nobody says that.
No.
There's no such thing. It's only a six-figure, and that's just a milestone figure that people use that terminology for. It was actually kind of cute and hilarious and sad all at the same time.
So you have this really interesting visual dynamic going on. It stopped for a second now, but it almost looks like steam, but I know it's smoke coming up in front of your computer. So it's like coming in front of you, a little hazy. You have
I've got
pipe
an
down there?
ashtray.
Oh,
I've got an
okay.
ashtray here, and there was
Okay.
something smoldering in there, so it must
Okay.
have just been
Now
going
it's
right
stopped.
to the camera.
Yeah.
So I apologize.
No,
The
you don't have to
people,
apologize.
I'm gonna apologize to the people on the podcast that had to see.
Hear
No,
me
wait,
talk
that
about
doesn't
it
work.
and not
Yes.
be able to see it. Hey,
Yes.
listen, here's the thing though. This is a good moment right here to say to people, if you aren't subscribed to us on YouTube, go subscribe to us on YouTube. Hey, even if you don't watch it, but you listen to the show, go subscribe on YouTube. And every once in a while you can go, hey, I'm going to watch these guys talk, because you'll get to see the funny faces that Derek makes and that Bob makes. And you'll see them like look at me like they want to kill me during the podcast. It'll be fun. You guys should subscribe.
That's the thing. When you watch it on YouTube or our Facebook page, it's a totally different show. I mean, yes, it's the same audio coming through, but to actually see who we are and see some of our gestures and some of the faces we make when somebody else is talking, that's the stuff that makes the show. That's the good stuff.
Yeah, that's the good stuff. So do that. Go to our YouTube page, which is, you just type in, hey, we're talking, and it'll show up. You don't have to worry about that. Subscribe to it. Smash that like button and hit the little bell so you know when our show comes out every Wednesday.
But that's not a joke. Do that
No,
for
it is.
real. Go
It's true.
subscribe to it and
Smash it though. Smash the like button. Yes.
or just click it with your mouse.
No,
Your little
you got to
mouse.
smash it.
Or you can continue to listen the way you have been from CoyoteCountryRadio.com or RadioBloodstream.com.
Derek.
That's true.
I'm making a sales pitch for them to go to the YouTube channel.
Hey, I'm just glad they're listening at all. And if they don't go to the YouTube channel, that's okay. It'd be nice if you did.
If you're
No,
watching
it's not
on
okay.
YouTube,
Go.
you'd
It's not
see
okay.
me.
Go.
You'd see me looking at Derek and just going, "What are you doing to me? What are you doing?
You're killing what I'm
You're
creating
killing me here." Anyway,
We're just making demands of everybody.
we're not demanding anything. We're asking them. That's how you make the sale. You have to ask. There's no money involved, but I'm asking them to smash the like button. It's not difficult.
Sounds a little destructive. Smashing that like button.
No. But
You sound a little too soft-hearted there, Derek.
Derek likes the soft sell. No pressure, but I'm not pressuring
Hey,
him
if
either.
you feel like it, go.
Look,
go to
I appreciate the soft sell. We have a local
You like that
furniture.
Tainted Love.
No, soft sell is the name of the group.
I know, but that's they're the group, and then the song is Tainted Love, right?
Yeah, they covered that. It was a good
Covered. Who did it before them?
some lady.
Every time I-
some lady.
I'm serious. No, I'm serious. That is a Tainted Love soft sell. That is not. They did not originate that song.
There's the one. Obviously,
That's
everybody
interesting.
thinks of them as the people that did it, though.
I know, but they didn't do it first.
Hey, listen.
Serial.
Like
Every time I hear that
Serial.
song, I just want to run away. It's weird.
10 minutes ago, I started to tell everybody about NumaCoffee.com. We want you to go to NumaCoffee.com, pick out some coffee. Trust me, you're going to love it. Get some good stuff. I got something new, and I can't remember the name of it. Dang it. But I haven't been drinking that much coffee lately. Any which way, go to NumaCoffee.com. Use the coupon code HWT. You'll get 20% off of your order. I think you should grab 2 bags at least. That's on the first try. Try a couple
Try
things.
2 different things, until you decide what you like.
And
don't.
He's got good descriptions on the website too. Go ahead, Bob. Sorry.
Yeah, and we don't tell you guys this just to tell you this. I mean, support the show and support Numa Coffee because they're a great company and they're doing a lot of great things. It's not like it's some rich dude sitting somewhere in a mansion. I mean, they're actually giving back to communities. They're helping around the world. So to me, it's great to help that.
I wonder how hard Chris will laugh when we say that he's not some rich dude because he's not rich and none of us are rich either. But I think that would be funny to hear him when he hears it. I wonder what his face will look like. He'll probably laugh. He has to. Because do we know any rich people? Do you know any rich people?
I do.
Do you really?
Like really rich people, yeah.
And you're like friends with them.
Yeah. And I just cannot convince them to give me a bunch of money.
So they're not that rich. If they were like filthy, just stinking Hollywood rich, they might.
Well,
give you
I know
something.
one guy. I know a few people that are worth a couple million.
Wow, man, you Mr. Big Stuff. How about you, Derek? You know many millionaires?
I know some in my family.
Whoa! Really?
It's not.
That's nice.
It's not my immediate family.
Oh, wow. Man.
Uncle Gordon, who's way down there in the line, but
are you in the will?
It's not my immediate family. So,
you need to
You
get
said
closer
they're
with
in
that
the
person.
family.
yeah, like aunts and uncles, cousins.
They won't toss you some cash when they die?
Probably not.
You need to become friends with them, like best friends with them.
Start to really do nice stuff for them, and when they're at the end of the road, go like be their personal nurse and stuff.
Right.
Dude.
Thanks for the
here,
advice.
I'll sign it all over to you, Derek.
Speaking of filthy rich, this is a great segue for what I was going to talk about anyway.
Just do it.
In our opening banter, I'm watching a new show on Amazon Prime. Well, not a new show, but it's a show that I've heard.
It's new to you, Derek.
It's new to me, and it's received worldwide critical acclaim during its run, original run, and I was skeptical. And I decided to watch it, and I'm totally addictioned right now.
Addiction?
I love it. Yeah.
Are you going to tell us the name of it, or how long does this last?
Another 12
I like
minutes.
to draw it out.
Okay, go.
Downton Abbey.
Oh my gosh.
Never heard of it.
Oh,
It's
dude.
it's a British show.
How pathetic
Yeah.
is it that Bob has never heard of Downton Abbey, by the way?
Downtown Abbey?
Downton.
Yeah, it's downtown.
Was there
but
something
without...
called Downtown Abbey?
No, it's Downton Abbey. It's almost Downtown Abbey, but without the second W.
Well, they need to learn how to spell then.
One of our listeners and friend of my brother, Susie, she likes the show, and she listens to our show, and she actually had mentioned on her Facebook a few weeks ago that she's gotten into Downton Abbey, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give it a shot. And
Derek.
I love it.
I have not watched TV in probably 2 weeks.
Don't brag about your life
No, I wish
of no TV.
My wife and I have some shows on like Netflix and stuff like that, Hulu
Did you
that
guys
we watch.
not watch Fear the Walking Dead? Oh, you don't have
No.
regular TV anymore. I forgot.
No, so I haven't watched it in 2 weeks, but I haven't had a chance to sit down and watch anything.
All right.
I'm behind on all my
I
shows.
always feel weird about people that don't watch TV. It's off-putting.
I like regular TV.
You're on my crap list now.
Well, I like chocolate pudding too.
Go ahead, Derek.
Well, I don't watch TV like live because I work at night. So if I'm off this Monday, then I have to work the next Monday. So I don't get a chance to watch it. And we don't really have TiVo or, like that little thing where you can stop or record it. What do you call that?
A DVR?
A DVR?
Yeah.
There you go. DVR. Yeah, we don't have that.
TiVo.
So, yeah, TiVo was like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
It's still out there, but that's a good reference. Go ahead.
No, we don't do that. So I do primarily watch material from Netflix and Amazon Prime. I did finish watching season 5 of The Walking Dead, and I'm way behind on that.
Yeah.
But I decided to get into that. But before I started season 6, I thought, you know what, I'm gonna try Downton Abbey, which is we didn't even talk about it. It's a show set in England in the 1910s during the Edwardian era.
Yeah, that sounds right. Go ahead.
Big giant country manor house, and you got the rich people with the servants and everything, and it shows the upstairs versus downstairs, the rich people versus the servants and the butler and the footman and the scullery maid and all that stuff.
Sounds amazing.
My parents watched it, and I made fun of my dad for watching it. And he goes, "It's good." I'm like,
It is good,
oh,
and
Dad.
I mean it's very good drama, and some of the nastiest, just the meanest, pragmatic kind of, sisters that hate on each other, and it's just good.
It's delicious. Hey, speaking of delicious, Derek, one of the things I was going to say, if you ever get Hulu, you'll be able to catch up on a lot of current shows because they usually have them. This new Gordon Ramsay show that just came out last Wednesday on Fox, I just for the fun of it was like, I'm going to watch it and see what it's like. He has 24 hours to fix these restaurants, and this first one was just fantastic. The guy who was like the owner became the owner because his dad got too old, and he took over a really good restaurant that's like an hour outside of New York City, but lots of people have. It was somewhat popular restaurant, and he ran it into the ground, and he was just perfect New York, just always yelling at everybody. It was great. And then Gordon Ramsay, you know, he doesn't put up with anything, so it was fantastic. There was so many fireworks, and the guy he was on such a roller coaster. He'd be yelling at everybody, and you don't give me any credit. You don't know, no one respects me, and all this kind of stuff. And then Gordon would go, "You need to grow up." And then the guy would be like, "I know, I can't. Sometimes I just can't do anything right."
I think I saw a clip of that where like he was somebody was just serving Gordon at his dinner, and it was like stuffed clams and stuff like that. So I just saw a little snippet like on Facebook or the video or something, and it was just hilarious. Him just trying the food like what is this? Right. Did you microwave it? And of course they did microwave it. It was funny.
He goes in disguise, by the way, into the restaurant when he goes. So he dressed up.
Oh, this wasn't in disguise. This was just him.
It's a different one then.
Gordon Ramsay, this is like his 12th show he's done. Right?
I know. He's all over the place.
They should all have the same name. Gordon Ramsay yells at a guy for an hour, and that should
pretty much.
Yeah, but it was good.
Scallops!
It was
good. Rubbish.
Yeah. The best part of every one of his shows is when he goes into the walk-in, the refrigerator walk-in, and just
my God,
you're trying to kill someone. Yeah.
I like it when he insults people. It's like I love Hell's Kitchen. I used to watch that show.
Yes,
I love the early episodes. He's just like, "What are you doing, you donkey?" Calls this lady a donkey. I love that.
Yeah. Bob, what are you going to say?
Rubbish.
No, nothing. I'm just kind of laughing.
He's sitting there and he looks like he's like, I'm waiting for my chance to say something.
No, it was just one of those funny things that I'm kind of just imagining it. I don't get to watch it all, so
that's okay.
It's just kind of funny.
It's the kind of show you watch to just waste your time. There's no point.
To laugh at other people's problems.
So how's the energy level, Scott? I drink all my coffee.
Is it good?
Good boy.
I think it's pretty good.
It's a self-roasted Nicaraguan.
Okay. So before we jump into the next segment here, I do want to say hello to a couple people because Bob put this thing on Facebook and he's like, "Hey, let us know. We'll say hello." And his brother, Jason, was like, "I listen to every one of your shows. You never said hello to me." So say hello, Bob.
Hello, Bob.
Say hello to Jason.
I don't have to say hello to my brother. He
say
knows.
it. Say it.
Hello, Jason.
There you go.
Okay.
See, Jason?
Hey, Jason. Thanks for watching and listening.
Yeah.
We appreciate it.
We do. And Goonie said hello also. So we'll say hello to Goonie. Goonie is Coyote Country Radio. And I'm trying to remember his website. Doggone it. It's in our bucket.
CoyoteCountryRadio.com. I already mentioned it earlier.
Or just go to coyote.live.
Yeah, CoyoteCountry.live or something like that. Oh man, this is bad. We should know this stuff by heart. Derek said it already, but I was going to give another plug. And then Martin, who runs Radio Bloodstream, RadioBloodstream.com. Say hello to Martin. Go thrash and bang your head while you listen to Radio Bloodstream.
Dude, I'll tell you, if you turn that on and you like metal or any of that, you'll love it. I mean, it rocks, dude. It's awesome.
All right, when we come back, we're going to jump into a little bit of music history. We'll keep it brief, but we're going to let you know what's coming up in the month of July in music history. Little tidbits for you coming up. Yeah, go ahead, Bob.
And if we have time, I'll tell you my little story about how I got to meet a musician/celebrity just this week. Yeah, so that'd be cool.
We will. Coming up after this.
Hey, We're Talking is brought to you by Numa Coffee. Head over to NumaCoffee.com and use the coupon code HWT to receive 20% off. That's NumaCoffee.com, PNEUMA Coffee.com.
Hey, we're back, and we're going to jump into some music history here. But Bob said if we have time, you know what? I want him to tell him what happened, Bob. what you have like a special. You had an actual encounter with a musician.
Yeah. So so my son and I went to Randolph Street Festival in Chicago, and we saw a bunch of bands, some actually really good bands, really cool bands. But the headliner for the Saturday night was an artist named Alan Stone, who we've talked about on this show, and he's like an old. I mean, he sings like soul music, man. I guess
like
that's
Stevie Wonder almost.
Yeah,
Sometimes.
I don't know what it. I mean, it's qualified as soul music, but the eras are a lot different. But so, anyways, my son and I, our whole goal was to go and see this dude perform. We hadn't done it before. We talked about it. I talked about it with Brandon Ray when he was on our show last week about
Brandon Ray. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. About when Brandon actually got to like he commented on his Instagram or something like that, how it was just kind of a nerdy geeky moment for me and him.
Yeah.
But this time, I said that I wouldn't go see Alan Stone unless I was going with my son, and I was finally able to get my son to go. And before Ellen went on, he actually stepped out to take some pictures with everybody, so we got to kind of shake his hand real quick and get a picture with him. He wanted to be really quick with that because he didn't want to take attention away from the band that was performing, which I thought was pretty cool. So we got a real quick picture with him, and that was that. Got to see him perform. We were literally like 8 feet from the stage. There was one person in front of us, my son and I, and then there was the guardrail. So got to see an amazing show. And then afterwards, the whole band pretty much came out and talked with everybody. So my son and I literally stood there for 10 minutes and talked to Alan Stone. And he was so humble and so sweet. And he was just, it was unreal. I told him that, where I discovered him and all that stuff, which was through Daryl's house. That was on, I don't even know what channel it was on. I saw Alan Stone there originally, but I told him as soon as his music comes on in our house, everybody's singing it because we all know it. And he was like, oh man, he put his head down. He's like, I can't believe that. That's so awesome. Super, super humble. But yeah, it was such a cool experience. And I was so happy for my son because that's literally like my son's music idol, just for his singing and his guitar and all that stuff. And, I've never been able to meet my music idol. So for him to be able to do it at 15, I thought that's pretty awesome.
Who's your music idol?
Well, for drums, it'd be Carter Beaufort, which is from Dave Matthews Band.
So Carter Beaufort, if you're listening to the show, get in touch.
Yeah, which I will be we'll talk about that on the next episode because I'll be going to 2 Dave Matthews Band concerts.
You're just hoping you don't have to pee in the front row. We know.
Yep, I'm just going to be dehydrated that day. I've already decided.
Strap something on, man. Get Derek to tell you how to... Your wife's a nurse. Tell her to put a catheter in.
Oh, I'm not going to have one in.
Yeah, and put it into the little pee bag.
Derek, as my wife said, she'll just give me a Texas catheter.
I've never heard of that. We had this long, drawn-out Facebook discussion about this. Anyway, that is a really neat story, Bob, about getting to meet Alan Stone. He's a blue-eyed soul, pretty much like an indie artist, singer-songwriter, and he's got he is an incredible talent. Awesome music, and that is muy gelioso that you all got to see the show and hang out with him, talk to him, get pictures. I love that.
Yeah, awesome. It was so cool. Such an awesome experience. And my son and I were just, our eyes were bright and we're so excited after we left the concert. And come to find out, they're actually coming back to Chicago in the fall, playing at the Vic Theater in Chicago. So I'm going to have to watch for tickets to go on sale for that. Yes, hopefully I can pick up 4 tickets that time so I can take
the whole family,
wife and daughter as well.
So let's jump into this. We're talking about music history from July, and the first thing on our list on July 1st, I picked this one because this was, like in my youth, one of the greatest things ever. Casey Kasem in 1970, July 1st, 1970, the American Top 40 radio show debuts in 11 U.S. cities. Eventually, that show, when I was growing up, ended up being on every Sunday we would hear that, or Saturday, depending on what market you were in. The American Top 40, awesome. And as Derek brought up, Casey Kasem was also the voice of Scooby-Doo, correct? Or Shaggy, which one was it?
Shaggy.
Shaggy.
He's the voice of Shaggy.
Yeah.
You know, because but it was a very big difference in the voices, because Casey Kasem, he's like, we're going to be talking about blah, 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 you know,
and he
then,
had the major echo reverb on his voice when they did the show. So it was, I just remember that was one of the things growing up that made me want to be in radio when I grew up, was Casey Kasem.
Oh yeah. Casey Kasem was just unreal. And another guy that kind of comes to my head, which I don't know how big he was, but Dick Biondi. Have you guys heard of him?
No, that must have been a Chicago thing.
Maybe it's just a Chicago thing. He was like a radio icon in Chicago. Dick Biondi. He's got that. I mean, that's literally how his voice is. Just like Dick Biondi, oldies 104.3.
Yeah.
That was his voice, and it was just that. You know, you hear that voice, and you know, oh, that's Dick Biondi. And Casey Kasem was the same exact way. He actually died June 15th. 2014.
Yep. And the other thing about Casey Kasem that was a big deal, because I was growing up in Detroit, he was born in Dearborn, Michigan. So he lived in Dearborn at one time.
Actually,
somewhere around there.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Casey Kasem just happened to be Arabic, if people didn't know. Casey Kasem.
I thought he was Lebanese.
Isn't Lebanon part of the Arabic culture, or no?
I think it's near Israel.
Correct, but isn't that part of the Arab Peninsula, also known as Arabic? Okay, go ahead. He's Lebanese.
Anyway, I can't believe we glossed over the name Dick Biondi, because that's just the greatest sounding name in the world, I think.
Yeah, Dick
July
Biondi,
2nd,
man.
2005, Live 8 concerts take place around the world to draw attention to poverty in Africa.
Why is it called Live 8? Isn't that Live 8?
I have no idea. I know the one in the 80s was Live Aid, but they had they redid them, maybe because they did 8 concerts. I really don't know.
That's bizarre.
But they revamped it. Like, let's go. Let's do it again.
That's weird.
To draw attention to poverty, or to help with
what
poverty?
Are they going to help out, or just draw attention to it? It's weird.
It's like those awareness days, it's like, such and such awareness day. Is that really helping anything? Are we raising money for it? Are we going to do something about it, or what? Is awareness enough? I don't know.
I don't have no idea. That's a weird. I don't know. It's a weird thing to say, but okay.
But you know what? But we still have Dick Biondi, so let's go on to the next one.
We do.
Okay. July 3rd, 1969, Rolling Stones guitarist Brian Jones is found dead in his swimming pool. Sad day for Rolling Stone fans.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
I feel sad for him, but I didn't care because I wasn't.
And then they broke up, right? They broke up and never played again?
No. I think do they still play concerts? Do the Rolling Stones still have concerts? Oh, my gosh.
Yes.
Good grief. All right, this is mine too, isn't it? July 6th, 1957. July the 6th, 1957. 15-year-old Paul McCartney and 16-year-old John Lennon meet at a church picnic near Liverpool. History!
Didn't we have the same exact thing last month?
No, what they did, one of them was they formed the band. This is when they met.
Oh, hello, I'm John. Hello, I'm Paul.
I'm Paul.
You want to be in a band?
No, this is just they were just eating some haggis or something at this one.
Haggis.
I don't think English people eat haggis.
I had to look this up since we were talking about it. Rolling Stones they are currently on tour. So it's called the Stones No Filter Tour. Right now they are touring France and Denmark and Czech and Poland.
All right. Check.
So they're currently on tour. So yeah, nothing slowed them down. They're like a Rolling Stone. Anyways, July 7th, 1980, the original lineup of Led Zeppelin performed for the last time. Oh. July 7th, 1980. 2 years before my younger brother was born.
Better. Did they get back together yet? I don't think they have. They have another singer.
Well, they've played. Jimmy Page and Robert Plant have played together with Jason Bonham, which is John Bonham's son, the drummer. Right. So they've played at different venues and things like that, but not gone on tour. The rumors and stuff like that is just that Robert Plant and Jimmy Page don't really like each other as people. Yeah. But when they get on a stage together, they're just amazing. So, yeah. But last time, July 7th, 1980. I've got another one. July 9th, 1995. Jerry Garcia played with the Grateful Dead for the last time at Chicago's Soldier Field. He would die basically a month later from a heart attack.
And we'll be talking about that one next month.
I'm sure it'll be brought up.
Oh, my gosh. Okay.
July 9th, 1971, The Doors lead singer Jim Morrison is buried at Père Lachaise Cemetery in Paris, France. Wow. And this is also a very famous cemetery. It's kind of small, and they buried a bunch of celebrities there. Like a bunch of famous people are buried at this cemetery. And I know that Jim Morrison's grave in particular is vandalized quite a bit.
Yes, it's really a major tourist attraction. Everybody just to say that they've gone there, and yeah, people vandalize it, but they don't do it out of disrespect. They just want to leave their mark there. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. Let's see, July 17th, 1967, the Jimi Hendrix Experience opens up for the Monkees at New York's Forest Hills Tennis Stadium.
Talk about an odd pairing of bands.
Yeah, you hear the greatest guitarist, and then hey, we're the Monkey.
I wonder if everybody was like, bring Jimi Hendrix back. Although I'm not gonna lie, I liked the Monkees when I was a kid.
Did people throw bananas on the stage for when the Monkees performed?
No. I don't think so. I don't think so.
Well,
Look
people throw spoons at when they go to watch The Room. So
I don't even understand why are they throwing spoons when they watch The Room.
Well, because in some of the artwork in the back on the fireplace, there's framed spoons. So yeah, I'll look up the Monkees and see if that ever happened.
Okay, Derek.
Jimi Hendrix opening for the Monkees, kind of like the Beatles opening up for Roy Orbison, you know. But actually, people loved Roy Orbison.
Yeah.
So they love that guy. All right, July 20th. I picked this one. It's my birthday. 1965. Bob Dylan's Like a Rolling Stone is released by Columbia Records. Hey, like a rolling stone. Hey. Bob Dylan.
Derek also got one that I wanted, but I didn't know it was there. Go ahead.
What? Oh, yeah. Well, this was one of my favorite albums growing up. And
dude.
July 21st, 1986, the album Appetite for Destruction is released by Guns N' Roses.
That's just crazy.
Dude, such a good album. It's so weird.
Yeah.
It's so weird to even think that it came out in the 80s because most of the kind of what would be considered hair metal, I know sometimes Guns N' Roses gets lumped in with hair metal, and I'm like, no, I don't think so. Do you guys think so?
To me, there's two different categories of hair metal. There's I don't know,
like
it's really
Cinderella,
weird.
Poison,
yeah. See,
White
that's
Lion,
different.
Winger.
The only reason they get lumped in is because their hair literally was just like everybody else's at that time.
Yeah,
so they get thrown into that.
The music is nothing the same. It's not even close.
Not at all.
I really think Guns N' Roses kind of in a category of their own.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you call that? Is that hard rock? Is that heavy metal?
I think it's just it's just rock and roll, man. That's like straight up rock.
But to think that it came out in 1986 is crazy, considering the fact that the big hair metal bands or the real popular bands started like 89, 90. And
but they were about to die like 91, so they were out before that, dude, because when Nirvana came along, hair metal died. That was like 91. That was it.
Yeah.
Teen Spirit crushed hair metal.
Everything.
They all died.
Well, and Teen Spirit was the album that created that alternative rock category.
Grunge.
Yeah.
Grunge.
Yeah. Well, grunge. Green Day was a band that started that whole grunge era.
No. Really? That was Nirvana, dude.
No.
Nirvana. Nirvana, Soundgarden, they are the grunge band.
Yeah.
Soundgarden.
What?
Green Day
It
is punk.
Grunge?
Green Day is
Yes.
yeah. We're talking about Pearl Jam.
Green Day's punk. Yeah,
punk.
that's right.
Yeah,
Plus, I like Green Day too. All right.
yeah. It's pop punk. You
Pop
know.
punk. July 29th, 1974, Mama Cass Elliot dies in her London apartment from a heart attack at the age of 32. So she died of a heart attack not from choking on a sandwich like people say sometimes. She was the chunky lady, right?
I don't even know who that is.
You know what the thing is? She wouldn't be even
Mama's in
considered.
the
She'd
Poppers,
barely
yeah.
be considered chunky now. She was not that fat.
Well, nowadays they call them, girl, you thick.
Yeah.
That's what they say now, which is good. Which is good. But
Okay.
many years ago, they go, "Oh, girl, you got a fat ass." You know
What? This is a family program. Who's
PHAT.
blue? Who's blue?
I am.
But
Take us home.
But Barrick was going to say something though.
I'm
I'm
sorry.
just
Go ahead.
saying that if you're dying from age 32 from a heart attack, there's probably drugs there.
Oh yeah.
Drugs. Take us
July-
home.
July 31st, 1976. Don't Fear the Reaper is released by Blue Oyster Cult.
You have a
Sorry,
fever.
That was
No, it was
that
pretty
was
good.
my
It was
that
not
was my
bad.
best. But I haven't done that in a
It
long
was
time.
not that bad. I
That was
got
the,
a fever.
The more cowbell.
Yeah.
I got a fever.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 1976, Don't Fear the Reaper. A lot of people say Seasons Don't Fear the Reaper. It's a very weird thing. Everyone's got something different with that song. Or now people call it the More Cowbell song. So, by Blue Oyster Cult. Their biggest hit that'll go on forever thanks to Will Ferrell and Jimmy Fallon and, of course, Christopher Walken.
Chris Kattan, too. He
Oh,
kept
yes.
laughing during it. So did
That-
Jimmy Fallon.
That's to me, that's still one of the funniest bits, just because the genuine laughing going on in that bit. You know, they were all trying to be serious, and obviously they knew it was recording and all that stuff, but just some of the Jimmy Fallon in that thing cracks me up just because he's trying to hold it together in the background, and you can tell he can't. I mean, it's just, especially with Will Ferrell with the shirt the way it is and the big hair and just, oh, I love it.
Classic. I'll have to find
Yep.
that and put it in the bucket so people can watch. Although it might not be available. They try to hide stuff from
No.
YouTube.
Yeah, who owns SNL?
NBC.
NBC hides everything from SNL. It's ridiculous.
They do.
And so does that whoever. So I don't know who owns MTV, but MTV's the same way.
I
They
think
like-
they
more
don't
want any
cowbell
other
just
stuff.
gets. I think that's in the pop culture ether now. I don't think they would even want to. Doesn't help them to hide that. I don't think.
Yeah, it's everywhere. So like there was a show, a comedy show from the 90s called The State. It
Yeah.
aired on MTV.
Yeah.
You can't find clips of that anywhere. I mean, you can find a few little tiny things, but there's not much that you can find. And I absolutely love that show. And some of the bits
I
were
had it
so
on DVD.
hilarious. I rented it off of Netflix a long time ago when, they were
When they still
mailed to
did
the house.
DVDs all the time, yeah.
Yeah,
They still
and
do
my-
them, but
My son and I sat there and watched every single season. And that was his first exposure to it. And to
Michael
me,
Ian Black.
so hilarious. Some of the stuff in there is just awesome.
Yep.
And more cowbell is available on YouTube. Just search
Just
more
put
cowbell.
More cowbell. All right. Listen, when we come back, we have a very interesting topic. A documentary that Derek recommended we watch on Netflix. And boy, oh boy, is it crazy. Can't wait to talk about it. Should I give him any other kind of hint or just say we'll talk about it after this?
Well, we mentioned
teased
it
it
on
last
last
week.
week's show.
Yeah,
We did?
yeah.
And
I told-
it's been teased on Facebook this week, so
It's like watch Second Life.
Okay. Man, I just
It really
got
has been a long
scolded.
time since we recorded. Because
I know. You guys are like scolding me like I remember 2 days
I'm going
ago.
back to my notes
Yeah,
that
I
I had.
told him I was like, everybody needs to watch Second Life because we're going to talk about it on the show.
All right.
So I hope everybody did their homework.
Okay, we're
This is gonna be a
watching.
quiz.
We watched Second Life, and now we're going to talk about it next.
Today's episode of Hey We're Talking is brought to you by our sponsor, Numa Coffee. Go to numacoffee.com. That's PNEUMA coffee.com. At checkout, make sure to type in the code HWT for a 20% discount.
Well. the moment has finally arrived where we get to speak about the movie Life 2.0. Is that what it's called? Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
Life 2.0.
Life 2.0. Now, this was a recommendation by Derek. Hopefully some of you guys watched it because it's kind of creepy. I'm not going to lie. It's kind of creepy. But Derek, give everybody kind of an overview of this movie.
Life 2.0 is a documentary film that examines the game, and I put that in air quotes, the game. It's a virtual reality simulation thing called Second Life, which I think was started in 2003. My first exposure to that was on The Office, because the character Dwight Schrute had a Second Life account. It's basically a virtual simulation. You go in, you design your character, and you interact with people. You get money. You can buy stuff. You can even buy virtual real estate and build things. It's like a virtual community. And like any kind of game, any kind of hobby, there are people who get sucked into it. They get obsessed with it. And Life 2.0 kind of shows the extremes. It shows 3 different cases, and it shows some of the different consequences. It shows one person who suffers some weird economical consequences. You got one guy who got some psychological consequences, and a couple that kind of suffer through some social consequences.
Yes.
You know, I like that: economic, social, and psychological.
Yeah.
So
Sounds like
you
a
guys
sermon
watched it.
series.
Yeah, 3 points in a prayer. Yeah.
It's definitely just one of those things where you sit there and you just go, oh my gosh, what the heck?
Okay, so let me say this. So this is a virtual world, obviously built on servers and all that stuff out there for everybody to play. They actually started this by building an island. That's all they did, is they built an island. And users, people that came in and joined, built everything else. There's skyscrapers, there's mountains, there's everything you can think of is there. And it's all built by the users, by the players that play this game.
Yeah, and it's incredible. And I would imagine that somebody built a skyscraper, and now they can rent it. They can rent out virtual space in this skyscraper to virtual businesses.
And that's the thing. It's like actual. I mean, it's not dollars, but it's some type of currency that they use in the game. You can make money. One of the people in the movie made a living off of designing homes and clothes and shoes and all this kind of stuff. It's bizarre, man. I mean, it's straight up bizarre.
Yeah, the Linden dollars. Basically, if you pay, I think it was like $10 or $20 a month, you get an allowance of Linden dollars for the game. And these actually are convertible to U.S. money. Like you can convert. It's like 27 Linden dollars to $1 US or something like that. And so, yeah, like you said, there was a lady. She has a shop. She designs clothes. She designs houses, and people pay her to upgrade their experience in Second Life. And she was actually making real world money doing that.
So she actually made a 6-figure income off of that before some issues happened within the game. So literally, I mean, she built herself a store. She designed clothes and shoes and things like that within her store, and people could come to her store. They could talk about it because you're hooked up with audio and everything like that, and there's a whole chat group going on. You literally can talk about the clothes and stuff like that and sell that person clothes, and you're making real money off of it. So it is a virtual world that is people can make money off of and live in. And that's what a lot of these people have been doing, is they want to getting sucked into this world that they spend, what they say, like 12 to 16 hours a day in this game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The lady from Detroit who was making the money, she would actually sleep during the day and get up in the evening and start working on this game, because that's when people are playing. You know, obviously they're getting home from their regular jobs or whatever, and they're jumping onto this thing. And it becomes so addictive. And this lady was taking advantage of, just like you guys said, making stuff and selling it. And then the funniest part about her story for me was there was some guy who hacked her and used her designs and stuff and was selling them himself. And then they go through this whole thing and show you how this lawyer is suing this guy and he did it to a couple different people. And then they tell you what they got from the guy, and I died. I died. They got like $518 from this guy. That's how much he stole from them, was $518. And I thought, can you imagine how much this attorney cost them? And they got $518.
However, yes, the result of the lawsuit was they got paid back about $500, but it actually presented to them legal protection for the stuff that they created within the game, so that they couldn't do this, so that dude couldn't do that anymore.
Yeah.
And I think she was able to go back to, because she had lost her income for a while and was looking to get a real job. And by the way, this lady, the most sympathetic character in the whole film.
Yeah, out of all the people, yes.
She was not addicted. She was not doing anything weird or creepy. No. She was just making a living. She was just doing a job. You know, she was just like, she was taking advantage of the game itself. You know, like, people want to buy stuff. She was providing products for people to buy.
And she was pretty good at designing these products, you know, not my taste. I mean, I'm not going to wear, you know, those sexy boots that go all the way up to my thighs or anything. I forget what they're called.
Yes, you know exactly what they were called, and the attorney in the movie has to say it.
Yeah, I don't remember what they were called, but they were, it was very inappropriate for this show. But it was, I mean, it's just hilarious that she did a good job designing this stuff.
Yep.
And she was actually able to make real money off of it and, you know, provide some sort of a living for herself. But when that guy stole all her stuff, you know, obviously, you know, she had to kind of think, okay, well, what am I going to do about this? And that's why the lawsuit happened. Just for the fact that, you know, it's not cheap living with your parents in the basement. So she had to come up with some sort of other income.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So I'm trying to decide which one we should talk about next. I think probably the guy. So,
yeah, let's talk about the guy.
So the guy, he created a persona. Like at the first part of the movie, they blur his face out and keep him in the shadows and stuff like that. He makes himself into a little girl in the game, and he even says, as he's talking about this, that is frowned upon in this game. But
he is a 11-year-old girl.
Yes. But they go on to show you that there are probably literally thousands of these little kids in the game, and they can go and put signs up on a wall and people can adopt them. And I'm just like, pedophile alert. I mean, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, you can actually have avatar parents.
Yeah.
And you could be adopted by these parents. So when you're in the game, they are your parents,
and
which is just creepy.
Yeah. And when we get to the next one, I'll just give you a hint. In this game, you can have full-on sex in this game.
Oh, yeah.
So little children, come on, stop it. But this guy,
well, they say children are allowed, you know, they say that children are not allowed to, like, be in Second Life. You have to be an adult to have an account.
But you're an adult playing a child, which is
of the opposite
uncomfortable.
sex.
It's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So
and this dude's girlfriend was
it was his fiance at the time.
Yeah.
And she was just kind of like, I don't even see him anymore. All he does is go up there, and I forget the name of the character, but it was just this really weird name.
It was
Aya.
Aya.
I remember that.
Yeah. Sorry to you listeners out there named Aya. We called your name weird.
We're not trying to pick on you. Yeah. We're saying this guy kind of creeped everybody out.
Yeah, this guy, you know, works out of his house. He's like a web developer.
Yeah.
You know, website designer. So he works out of his house. He's in his office a lot anyway. And he gets sucked into Second Life, becomes a little girl in the game, and like he's taking his laptop to bed, staying up all night. It interferes with his relationship. He doesn't want to sleep. He's just like, I don't want to sleep. Or so, it's like a little cat naps if necessary.
Yeah.
But he gets crazy.
It was very uncomfortable. So he ends up that chick leaves him, and then he goes on to say all this stuff about what he learned about himself because he made himself a girl, and just it was bizarre.
And remember, he knew he was in the throes of this major online addiction. Yep. He wanted to get himself like forcibly removed from the game. Like he couldn't bring himself to just delete his account.
Tell what he did.
Yeah, he decided that he would do a mass shooting in the game.
Yep.
He got a gun. And as his character, little 11-year-old girl Aya, he goes around like the big market area and starts shooting people with a gun. And he got banned for a day.
Yeah, and then he not only that, but he didn't just do the mass shooting, but he made himself a suicide bomber. Do you remember that? He was going into rooms and blowing himself up. And in the game, the people will die, but I mean, I'm assuming you come right back, but he was going into these rooms filled with people because he liked to go dancing. That was his thing. He would go to this dance club all the time, and they would just dance around and all this stuff. I keep picturing it, and I'm like, this is so sickening. It's so weird. And he would explode himself in the dance hall, and you would just see all these people go, flying through the air and stuff. It was bizarre. So he got, like you said, he got banned for 24 hours.
Yeah, for disturbing the peace, you know, because obviously you're not actually hurting anybody in real life, but he's just kind of causing a ruckus. So he eventually,
go ahead.
I don't know.
Tell what he did.
He eventually tried to. He decided he needed to like completely break from the game, so he basically organized a suicide party or a delete his account party.
Yeah.
You know, he talked to all his in-game friends. He was like, I'm leaving.
This is it. And so he killed himself off. He deleted his whole thing. And they had this little thing. He stayed up all night with these people, and they kept they were crying and saying how sad they were going to be when he was gone and all this stuff. And then he just deleted himself, and that was it.
And then his fiance broke up with him anyway, and then he started a new account.
I'm sure he did. But the creme de la creme of this movie has to be the people who end up, they're on the game together. There's a guy and a girl. There's the guy's from Canada. The girl's from who knows where, somewhere out.
I think
east.
she was in Minnesota or something, wasn't
she was
East
in
Coast.
New York State.
Yeah.
New York State.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like Syracuse or Rochester.
He's from like Calgary, Alberta. Okay. So it's like literally opposite sides of the world almost, in North America anyway. And so they meet up online and they create this relationship, and she's married, he's married, and they're just spending all this time together. They're going to these places and like having sex in the game and talking to each other.
Wait, what?
In the game, they went to this, like, I don't even know what it was, but they went into like this little cabana.
A yoga, a yoga place to meditate.
And they were doing yoga, and then they go into this cabana, and all of a sudden she got nothing on her little character's nude, and then she climbs up on top of them.
And the graphics are like Minecraft quality.
Yeah, it's terrible,
he kept
terrible
his shorts
graphics.
on, though. He kept his shorts on.
No, they were moaning. Both of them were huffing and puffing together. It was disturbing.
Well, she was kind of floating above him. She wasn't really doing anything.
I have a feeling something was happening in real life on opposite sides. Anyway, so they're both married, and this girl, while she's talking to this dude, her husband comes downstairs and he's like, in the background you hear him asking, and she's like, and then she comes back and she's like, oh, I love you so much. He just doesn't understand. He doesn't get it. So they eventually decide, we're going to meet in real life. They're both still married. We're going to meet in real life. She goes to pick this guy up from the airport. The first thing they do is start holding hands and full on lip lock tongue hockey. These guys are going at it immediately from a game.
Tongue hockey. I love it.
They're playing tonsil hockey in this airport, and this guy, I mean, they're just like having and So eventually this guy, obviously, who's married to her is just like, this is some bull crap right here. I'm done. She's got a daughter. This guy comes and like stays in New York with her for like a couple weeks. And then eventually he's like moving in. And it's funny because they're all like, I love you and I love you, I love you. And then they're out. Derek, talk about this, the gardening.
All right. Well, let me reset the scene just a little bit. Yeah, at the very beginning of the movie, the very first scene, this guy they talk about how they met online, they have this relationship, and the first thing that they show is this guy from Canada flying in to meet her. Remember, at this point, they're still married. They're still married, and they're still with their respective partners, and they're like holding hands, kissing. He goes back to Canada, and you're describing that scene where they're talking, the husband, she's talking to her husband. They're having online sex in the game.
It's terrible.
And so they basically both file for divorce proceedings, and he comes back to New York to visit, and he like kind of stays in the house for a little bit, and they're talking about her daughter, which he refers to as the child.
The child.
I don't know, the child, and the daughter and the mom's like, I don't know why she's so upset with me. I'm not just her mom. I'm a woman,
Yeah.
And it's like, you kicked her dad out of the house.
Yeah.
Right.
For a video game.
Her father is gone, and in his place now is this guy you met in a video game. So, yeah. So he goes back to Canada. He comes back and actually is there for an extended stay. Moves into the house.
Yeah, because they're saying they're going to live together. This is it.
Yeah. So she's moving, like she's got boxes of her husband's things in the basement, and she wants to move them into the garage so that the husband can pick them up. And the guy from Canada, he's like, why are we even doing this? Mm-hmm. Why don't we just throw this crap out? And
because it's not yours.
Yeah.
She's like, we can't really do that. She's like, at least she's in the mindset, like, this is my husband's stuff. I kind of created this situation. I'm not going to throw away his stuff. And so in their attempt to have like a normal life, they're out in the garden. They're like planting plants, and she's like, hey, I'm trying to set this thing out. And he's like, you're doing it wrong. And I don't like this. This is stupid. What are we doing this for? My darling, my sweet.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to say, this is Derek's voice when he's talking like The Shining. This is exactly what the guy did. But he's like somewhat still like a calm guy, but he's like, you can tell he's like, first of all, he knows he's on camera right now, so he probably can't be who he really is. But you can see there's this little peek into this guy's soul, and you're just like, man, this guy's nuts. But I will say this, that chick, for real, delusional, drama, I mean, just this lady is bad news.
Cuckoo.
Bad news. And at the end of it, they end up breaking up, and she is sitting there, and they're interviewing her, and she's like, I'm the victim. And I'm like, you are not the victim. Your husband and that guy's wife and your daughter are the victims in this situation. You guys are stupid idiots. It was crazy.
And she tried to kind of justify some of it, like, oh, well, my daughter's now playing Club Penguin, and she's now into the virtual world, so she's starting to understand it. What? Wait, what?
She's trying to escape her home life because
her real
mom
life
has invited this weirdo into her home.
Yes.
If we want to escape our home life, that's why we do this show. That's why people watch things. That's, you know what I mean? It's like you don't create this online persona and just pursue somebody else sexually in another way. Yeah, I just
as soon as it finished up, Cheryl kind of came in while I was towards the end of it, and she was sitting there and just watching this thing go down with the couple, and she was like, what is this? And so I stopped it and I explained to her what was going on, and she was like, oh my gosh. So she kind of got engrossed in it at one point, and then I said, you know what, I'm going to check this game out and see what it's like. She goes, no, you are not. You are not playing this game. She's like, you have an addictive personality. The next thing I know, you'll be playing this game 24 hours a day like a freaking idiot.
And you'll be a 7-year-old girl.
Yeah.
Not a chance.
So my question is, she came at you about that. What does she do all upstairs all day in her office?
Work.
Are you sure?
She's designing clothes and stuff. You need to test her. Find some nice shirt or jacket on Facebook or Instagram. Oh, what do you think of this? Do you think this is nice? Would you design something like this? Give her the test.
I will.
She may be up on Second Life all day.
One of my favorite things.
Pixels right.
Yeah, right. One of my favorite things, though, is the lady who designs all this stuff. At one point, she's in her little store, and these two ladies come in. And everybody, by the way, everybody that designs their avatars, it's literally not anything like them. Okay, let me just tell you.
It's what you wish. Well, the guy was pretty close.
Yeah, so was the girl. The couple actually looked very similar to their avatars, but the lady who designed stuff, I'm not going to say mean things, but she was overweight. She was plump. Oh. And she eventually, Derek, you were laughing too.
Plays a video game for 18 hours a day in her mom's and her parents' basement.
Yeah, but she went to go visit all these people that played with her online, and you're just like, oh my gosh. And they showed these people like were talking to her in the game, and they all have these like 5-inch waists and these big butts and these big chests and just slim and everything. So this lady, while she's in her store selling stuff to people, and listen, they're talking through these headset microphones. So it's like kind of that crappy audio. It's not very good, but they're talking to each other. And this lady's like, yeah, I was just looking for something that will fit my figure. I have a hard figure to fit clothes on because I have such a big ass and all this kind of stuff. And I was just like, oh my gosh, this is so bizarre. And this lady, she's treating her like this is like she works at the Gap or something. And these people are coming to buy clothes. And she goes, over here, I have some stuff that I think will fit you perfectly. And she's like showing them around the store on a video game. It's like bizarre.
Yeah, the funny part is, a bunch of these ladies decided to have a meetup in Vegas, just like we've gone to pipe shows or people have gone to different shows. They all decided to have a meetup in Vegas. And the reality is, it's a bunch of heavy-set women, chain smoking, and they're all like, hey, I'm Dolores.
Yeah.
Wait, you're Dolores. Okay.
You're sexy. It's 5925. Oh, hey.
Right. Yeah, I'm Fantasy Diamond, and it's like,
yes,
it's just like, it's like, imagine if your mom had showed up to, with her nice blouse and just like,
you're like, this is uncomfortable. What's happening?
Yeah.
All right. So go ahead.
Well, let me just say that I'd mentioned this to a coworker, Eddie. Shout out to Eddie if he's listening. I was talking about our show. I was talking about Life 2.0 and Second Life. He goes, oh yeah, I remember that game. I used to have an account.
Oh,
and he like logged right in, and he's like, oh yeah, I still got like $20 left in this game. And so he probably got. He's like, oh great, he's gonna get resucked into the Second Life now.
Oh no, look what you did.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, I would love to talk more about this someday. I'm sure there's another movie out there that's similar to this that we could watch and have some fun stories about. But we got to wrap up the show for now. I want to ask everybody to do me a favor. We have 2 internet radio stations that are kind enough to have our show on their stations, Coyote Country Radio and Radio Bloodstream. So I just wanted to give them an extra shout out at the end of the show. If you're listening, go check them out. And also, make sure to go by newmacoffee.com. Get over there, get some coffee. You will not regret it. It's good stuff. If you are at all into coffee whatsoever, I guarantee you're going to enjoy this coffee. So use the coupon code HWT. And on that note, we say bye-bye for now, but we will be back a week from today with a brand new piping hot fresh episode.